Oh my God. I'm seriously feeling like a crazy person, but in like the best of ways. Oh, I just wanted to come on live. I haven't come on live in this group in a while. And I just had like the best cry ever. It's like those wailing cries. And you know what makes me feel so crazy is like how the littlest of things can spark these emotions. Like the littlest trigger, like the littlest thing can make me just like erupt like a volcano. And I don't know if you've ever felt that, like where you're just like so sensitive, like you're so sensitive to everything that it's like, you know, the mind comes in and is like, don't be so sensitive. Like, you know, don't feel so deeply. Like, why do you take this in and like feel? Like, why do you react like that? And like what I feel like I'm exploring and learning is like it's okay to be sensitive, and like can I just allow myself to just stay so open to feel. And it's just like so beautiful and like so innocent, like what I cry over. And it's like, okay, you know, like these emotions, like the emotions, all they want is they want attention. Like the emotion, it's like that little kid that was told that they could never cry, that little kid that was like, you shouldn't feel like that, like get over it, toughen up, you know. And I feel like because I toughened up my whole life and never felt any emotions until like just a few years ago. So for like 33, 35 years of my life, like I was so like tough and like never like allowed myself to cry. So of course it's like, it's no wonder why like all of the floodgates are like opening and all of a sudden like I'm feeling so sensitive now. And it's like just giving myself to like space to sit in this discomfort, to sit in the discomfort and to like really watch all of the thoughts that want to spin me down. But I was able to like just, as I was driving home, I just like let myself wail and cry and like just like was like, it's okay to feel like that. And like give myself space to feel. It's like so beautiful. It's like so beautiful. Oh my God. So you want to hear what happened? You want to hear this story? So it's so funny too. So it happened at improv class. So I'm at improv. And okay, like I can be a little crazy. Like I can go a little over the top sometimes. So we're doing this game. And you have to say like, so I was like, I've got a dog that I want to walk. I've got a dog that I want to walk. And then I picked somebody and then she has to act like the dog and I was pretending like I'm walking her. So what does Callie do? Instead of just walking the dog, I start like riding the dog and spanking the dog. So I'm spanking this girl's ass. Okay. I'm spanking her ass. And like, I've only known her 3 weeks. Like we talked. So like, I don't know. I just have this like I didn't mean anything by spanking her ass, I swear. Like, it just, like, spontaneously came out of me, and I was, like, spanking her ass, and I don't know why. But the teacher had to stop and be like, talk about boundaries and talk about inappropriate behavior. And I just felt like a dagger go in my heart. Like, luckily it was the last exercise. And so at the end of the night, I went in my car and I just felt the pain of like, like, I felt so bad. Like, oh my God, did I just violate somebody? Like, and I just spanked somebody's ass. Like, I felt so bad. Like, I felt so bad because I didn't mean it, like, at all. Like, I was just like, and then I was like crying at like my innocence. Like, oh my God, like, how many times in my life have I done that? Like gotten in trouble for something like I didn't even mean to do, like that I'm like so innocent. Like I'm so innocent, but yet like I got in trouble. And then I realized I was like, shit, like maybe this problem is even deeper. I was like, because not only did I spank her ass in improv, but like the very first improv class, like we had to pretend, I can't remember what we were doing, but we were all dogs. And I started dry humping one of the guys. Like I started dry humping one of the guys, like in the scene, acting like a dog. And to think of it, now that I think of it, I was like, that guy has not returned to improv. So I think I've like completely traumatized 2 people in improv. Like, I'm just like, oh my God. And then now I'm like, oh my God, is this just like a lot of pent up sexual energy that I'm like not expressing? I'm like, oh my God, this is so bad. But then it was so beautiful because I think like, you know, it's like once I felt the pain of that, I like allowed myself to cry and like feel so bad. And like, it was almost like compassion for like people with pent up energy. Like I can see how that can happen. You know, and like be so innocent and not mean something and like feel for that. And then it was so beautiful because like once I actually saw the emotion and like just gave it like that awareness and space and acceptance and like, it's okay, Callie, like, you know, like you're so innocent, like you can feel this, like you didn't mean to hurt them. You know, and then it's like, why am I crying about this? Like somebody else could just laugh it off and like I could have just went to her and said, oh, I'm so sorry, and like other people aren't affected, and here I am like fucking wailing like a African tribeswoman like in my car like for 20 minutes. Like what is that? And it's like not, and it's just like you don't have to understand why you're crying, you don't have to understand what's going on. It's like really, I'm like really trusting. It's like, who knows? It's like, it could be this floodgate of emotions after like so many years of like not expressing emotions. You know, also there was some sexual tension in the room between another couple. And it's like, I was sitting right next to it. And it's like, maybe I was picking up on that. It's like, who the hell knows? And it's not important. And maybe it was like my childhood trauma that just had to be sparked. Like, oh my God, it was so funny. It's so funny. But yeah, it like felt really good to express it too, because I'm really good friends with 2 of the girls in improv. And so I sent them a private message and I was like, I feel so bad. And I sent like cry emoji faces. And one of them I think was so worried about me because she doesn't really know me that well. And she called me up and then she's just like holding space for me. Like, oh my God, it's so sweet, you know? And it's just like, I think it's like what we humans do too, is right away we try to tell them why it's okay to not feel bad, you know, and it's coming from a really genuine space. Like she was really like, well, no, like I think your teacher, like he's just is really protective and saying the rules. He wasn't like yelling at you directly. And it's like in that moment, I don't fucking care like whether it was right or wrong. It's just like what wants to be held is the space to cry and the space to feel, you know, and it's just like, that's all that has to be done. And I think sometimes this is what happens in relationships, right? With a man and a woman, or like boyfriend, girlfriend, especially, like, or just the polarity of feminine and masculine energy. Whoever's playing whichever role, it doesn't matter. But you know, it's like the feminine energy, like the feminine or the girl, whatever, will start crying and bawling. And then the guy's like, oh shit, what do I do? And he tries to fix the problem. He tries to give her a solution. And it's like, all she wants is to just feel. And if he could just hold the space and say, oh, it's okay. Like you can feel this, you can go into this. Then like she can freaking break down and like totally cry and like let loose. And it's like, and then it's like from that, it's like, oh, I'm fine. Like totally fine. And then like nothing ever happened. It's like right now I'm like, oh, because I went into the emotion and felt it so deeply, now I'm like, oh, actually it feels like the charge has left my body now. It's like, oh wow, okay. And it's just like sitting with my heart and like feeling like, okay, I'm here, I can hold you. You know, and that's ended up what she did. And she was like, it's okay to feel like so deeply. Like, it's so beautiful of you that you can feel. And like, there's so many reasons why. And I was like, yeah! Like, and I just like bawled my eyes out. And again, it's like these emotions are just like children. Like, they just want attention. They just want to be seen and heard and loved and accepted. And as soon as you like love and accept them, they're like, okay, time for a cookie. I'm like, oh yeah, I kind of like want to go inside now and eat ice cream. Like, it's okay. Oh, dearie, 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 dearie me. So funny. So I don't know if you guys have that. Like, I'm like, am I the only like super sensitive, emotional one? And just like allowing it to play out too. Because, yeah, who knows? And it's changing, right? Like, maybe at one point the pendulum will like, you know, after not feeling and now I'm super feeling, maybe it'll balance out and maybe not. Like, but I'm just going to like continue living my life and not let these emotions anymore like dictate or like have anything to do with me and moving forward and creating. And yeah, who knows? Like maybe I'm going to be helping like other people who have like intense emotions be able to like just give space to them to feel like, oh oh God, it's been such a journey, like, not to judge myself, because, yeah, so much judgment around being, like, a crybaby, because it's something I always hated in other people, like, for so long, like, don't be dramatic, don't cry so much, and now I'm, like, crying every day. No, but now it's like, okay, it actually felt good. Like, tears are such a good, like, emotion, or a good, like, avenue to let the energy out, you know, to just like to let that volcano explode, in the sense of, like, let the energy move and express. And then it's like, oh, it's from the still point. And then it's like bringing more awareness into my everyday moments. And it's like, wow, I'm catching it sooner. I'm, like, able to see and stay present during the emotions, and I'm not resisting as much as I used to. I'm just fully diving in to fully feel and stay so open. Yeah, so it's like, wow, you know, the mind can think, oh, you're not getting better at this, like, you're still just so emotional, you're so this, you're so that. But it's like, oh, like, actually, like, yeah, like, when you see the bigger picture and you step out, it's like, wow, I'm a lot freaking better than I was, like, a year ago, and even a month ago, you know. So it's like, oh, good job. Like, you know, can we stop and, like, just pat ourselves on the back for how much we've grown and how much we've learned? And, like, yeah, and it's like the old patterns will still, like, take time maybe to unravel. So just let them, and let the patterns, and just keep watching them and loving them and being so gentle and soft with yourself. That's what I've found has helped me so much. So just wanted to share that story. Okay, love you guys.